If Nintendo's done one thing right so far in 2018, it's staying very unpredictable. Rumors of a new Switch accessory began to bubble early in this week, and Thursday morning, I woke up to a clip of a cardboard factory. Okay, maybe that's an oversimplification, but either way, the idea of Nintendo Labo is completely built around cardboard. Nintendo isn't the first to use this innovative new material, but it really does look like they might be using it in a very cool way. Labo is almost like a new console for Nintendo, or at least a new kind of gaming platform. Instead of just putting out one single game with a finite amount of compatible accessories, they've come up with a form of accessories in which they can design for virtually endlessly. Because of the endless possibilities that this simple cardboard design allows, I have no doubt that we're going to be seeing new Labo games for at least the next 3 years, beyond the dozen or so that we saw in this first reveal. I think that this is very well designed for this modern era of mass consumption, where we're just on to the next thing with the blink of an eye. The games that we did see didn't look absolutely amazing to me, but the technology involved with each of them really did make me say, wow, that's really freaking cool. As a musician, the piano alone was enough to pull me in, of course, but everything that they're using that infrared sensor for is just so cool. From the fishing minigame that detects how much line you have and how fast you're reeling it in, to the different foot pedals that can detect when and how fast you put your foot down. These are all ideas that I never would have thought to use that infrared sensor for, and I was very impressed. While it definitely isn't as impressive as the phenomenal usage of the HD Rumble technology in 2017 Game of the Year Senran Kagura, it was still very cool to see that they're continuing the usage of this awesome Switch technology. The big bone that I have to pick with this new Labo technology, though, is just the cardboard aspect itself. I've seen a lot of people saying that they're probably going to enjoy this because of how much they enjoy other creative build-it-yourself toys like Legos. And I also love Legos, but one of my favorite things about them is how collectible they are. I personally own Legos that I first got over 15 years ago, and there's some collectors out there with Legos from almost 50 years ago. They're small, they're easy to store, and most importantly, made very solid and out of plastic. The one Nintendo Labo set that intrigues me the most is the robot set, which is basically a big cardboard backpack with some string attached. If I wanted to save this for my children to play in 20 years after building it, it would have to take up a pretty good amount of space in my storage for a long time. Probably around the size of something like a large Lego set that always had to stay built, or maybe even just 5 Sega Genesis systems. Now I know that storage space is really an issue for any type of collector, but there's also the factor of the cardboard itself. I have no doubt that Nintendo will get the best, sturdiest, premium grade cardboard available, but it's still cardboard. Cardboard can be ruined by water, fire, dust, and even just too much weight being applied to it. Provided you actually build the thing, all of the Labo kits will be near impossible to keep in pristine condition. I feel like Nintendo could have created a similar idea of a build-your-own-game accessory with some more reliable materials like plastic or rubber, or really just anything else. Like I said, I love Legos, and I love the process of opening up a box and building a toy with your own hands, but spending $80 for some simple software with a bunch of cardboard is another thing. And this brings me to another issue that I have with these sets. When I first saw the video, I imagined that each set would maybe be around $30. Then I thought, oh, it's Nintendo, it'll probably be a little overpriced, maybe $50. Then I go to Amazon.com and I was way wrong. Each of these, or at least the initial sets that they're coming out with, are going to be $79.99. Along with the fact that the material is cheap and probably won't last for more than a decade, there's also the issue of the nature of the games that they showed. I know that this whole concept is designed for kids, and I have no problem with that, and so the games should be simple. They're designed for kids, but Mario Odyssey was also designed for kids. The sets are actually recommended for kids 10 and up, which means that there should be some depth to these games, in my opinion. I'm not 100% sure how in-depth these games will be, but judging by just the nature of what we saw, and also the sheer number of them, like they already have 12 ready, it looks like these are going to be more like mini games than full-on games. And this brings me back to something like 1-2 Switch, which was a really awesome game with a lot of innovative ideas, but it just got old really quick due to the lack of depth in those included mini games. And because it was $60, I think it's safe to say that at least half the people who bought 1-2 Switch were very impressed by the game, but felt ripped off due to the combination of high price point and lack of replayability. Like I said, we still don't know just how in-depth these Labo games are going to be, and I know they're designed for kids, so they don't have to be the most complex things in the world, but I fear that it might become a similar story to 1-2 Switch. Now, if you couldn't tell, I still have very mixed feelings on this announcement, but either way, I think it's a really cool concept at least. Nintendo President Kimishima recently said in an interview that they're going to be trying to bring a massive audience to the Switch this year, particularly people who haven't or wouldn't even touch a video game normally. And while I'm not on the side of making the Switch a completely casual system, I do believe that the more people spending money on the Switch and things around the Switch will mean more games and better things happening for us core Switch fans. Let me know your thoughts on Labo down in the comments, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel for the latest Switch content available. This is Max from Max Culture, and thank you so much for watching.